So put unmute, isn't it?
Yes.
You want to talk. After talk only put.
All right, so we are going to live now, but we will start at 2. So please help to share to your friends, share out this to let more people join our live stream today. So today, basically, we are going to have online dialogue sessions with the first frontline response team. So we invited police, bomba, and doctors from Hospital Umum. All right, guys. So help us to share out to let more people know about these online dialogue sessions with the first frontline officer. Together we have police, bomba, fire rescue, bomba, and doctor from Hospital Umum. So we will shut in the meantime. So during the middle of the sharing, if you feel that you have any questions that you want to ask to our representative first line response team, just feel free to drop your questions or drop your any questions at the comment sections. We will answer to it during the Q&A sessions. Right, guys, sorry for a moment of silence. We are trying to give a slot to another activities that just finished now. So right now, we are going to start in 2 more minutes. So help us to share out, to let more people know about these online dialogue sessions. So far, how is the voice? If you feel that you can listen us clearly, please comment or give us some emotions, emoji, like or love. Yes, to listen. Yeah. Alright, so once again, today we are very proud to have a few representatives from different departments talking about this, how they handle about the suicidal call and how they react. So they represent the first line response team. So together with me, we have Bomba representative, Tuan Henry and Tuan Gregory. And then we also will have representative from police, Tuan No Ashikin, and we also will have Mental Health Association representative, Dr. Ng as well, together with us. All right. All right, so we will start our online dialogue session right now. So, according to WHO statistic, every year there are an estimate of 800,000 people committed suicide. And in another word, one person every 40 seconds. But in general, do you know that there is a team involved when coming to handling this suicidal call, which is emergency or crisis response team, and they normally will consist of police, rescue department, and medical departments. In Malaysia, when there is a crisis happen, the first public reaction will be contacting our national emergency call. Do you know that? What is the national emergency call? Can you comment down there? What is the emergency call? Let's see the public awareness about this. So please comment down and tell us what do you think about the national emergency call? What is the number for national emergency call? Okay, the national emergency call will be 999, and this will be handled by the MERS 999. And the MERS operator normally they will first evaluate the situations and redirect the calls and hand it over to the respective agencies such as police department, fire and rescue department, or medical departments. Yes, I get the response from the public. Yes, 999. All right. So, but I believe that actually you guys will wonder how is the process during the scenes, okay, and what is going on when handling this tough case. So today we will review this secret in today's sessions. And in this during the discussion, if you have any questions, just write down at the comment sections, and we will look at it during our short break. So today we are grateful to share with you guys that we have a very supportive representative for those who just joined us earlier. So we will have Madam Nur Ashikin from Department of Crime Prevention and Community Safety in Police Agency. Hi, Puan.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Puan. Can you hear me?
Okay, hi. Okay, hi. I can hear.
All right. So we also have Tuan Henry from Head of Fire and Rescue Department, Kuching District. Hi, Tuan.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you.
Along, we also will have a sub-coordinate from Bomba, which is Sir Gregory. Hi, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Sim. Good to see you.
All right, and last but not least, we have Dr. Ng Bun Seng from MPH Association. Hi, Dr. Ng.
Hi, how are you guys? Good evening.
All right, so before we discuss about the process first, let me give you a big picture about what actually is the main role of each agency that will be involved in handling this suicidal call or suicidal attempt, or when they are being asked to go in to help. So let's hear about the main role first. Let's get some big picture first. So from police, can one share about like what is the main role of the police in these cases?
Okay, Mr. Tim. Okay, thank you for invite me on this dialogue, online dialogue. So when the police receiving the emergency call from the MERS 999, the call was suppressed at our system in the contingent control center, what we call it CCC. Okay, and from that system, our staff on duty, we look what type of the informations. Okay. If the information is referred to the suicide case, they will take actions to get the detailed information, like which place, what occurred, or which district of the police stations was involved. And then the staff duty at CCC, the control center, will pass the information for two ways. The first is the duty staff immediately pass the information to the mobile patrol vehicles, what we call it MPV, okay, or the patrol car. Okay, in that scene, for the first actions, the patrol car will go to the scene. They want for the first actions, and the second is the staff at our CCC pass the information to the district control center, or we call it DCC, for the further action. Okay, our staff on duty at DCC, district control center, immediately pass the information to the nearer police station. Okay.
Okay, Puan. So, so means that actually the police will be involved. The very first lah. So from the MERS, they will pass the call to police. So the main role of police at here is they have to be arrived at the situations. So they will be arrived at the situations, and then they will assess and then call in the other agency as well lah. So I can see that from the here, the main role is the police will be the first response will be there. All right. Okay. So let's hear about from fire and rescue, Bomba. So what is the main role from Bomba in these cases?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sim. I'm Henry. Thank you for inviting us to this Stage forum. From FOMBA perspective, as I mentioned in our Act 341 in Section 5, we have to save life. So the main and role function and the main objective for every cases we attend it, we have to save life. Okay, that's the main objective. So we can divide it to three phases of any cases. This means before, during, and after. So before is referred to when we receive the call from the MERS 999, or we call as a direct call from the public, said this as the cases of the suicide attempt. And then we will dispatch, or we will mobilize our men and team to go to the scene, to the sites, and our team or bomber team will see how to handle the cases and save life. Right? And then if the situation is okay, and we can manage the incidents, the cases. So we will see how he or she, if he or she have injuries, minor or majors, we will hand it over to the hospital. And if there's no injuries, we will hand over it to the police. So it will be like that. Thank you, Mr. Sim.
All right. So from Don Henry just also mentioned the main role of the Bomba, the fire rescue department, is to save life. So they will react based on the situation, based on the cases that they have been going to the scene, what happened at the situations, and then they will try, no matter what way, to save the life. And then they will pass to police again or hospital. All right. So let's hear about from hospital first. What is the main role actually from hospital, from Dr. Ng, that how doctor will be involved.
Yeah, Mr. Sim.
Hmm.
Yes, Mr. Sim, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on behalf of the Mental Health Association. All right, we receive cases of clients from different sources. The first one, of course, is from the family itself. Family bring in the client, or friends bring in the client, and then from the EMT, emergency response service, the emergency response team. It can be from DEPAM, from Bomba, PBSM, or from hospital itself. Once the EMT is activated, there are few centers. Whoever will receive the case, it will bring to the hospital. There will be communication between the response team, first responder, to the hospital regarding the extent of the injury, if there is. If there is no injury, they'll communicate through they'll communicate through the hospital, so that the hospital can prepare what kind of injury they are expecting to arrive. Okay, once they receive the patient or the client, it will be sent to emergency department, and from there they'll proceed according to the severity and which discipline will be activated. But the emergency care will be given to the client immediately once they have received the case, even at the scene itself, and continue on
So
in the
in
emergency
another
department.
Okay, so for Dr. Ng, so in another word, the main role from the doctor will be ensure the safety and the healthy life based on the situations that if in case the survivor, the suicide attempt survivor, they have some injury, you will be giving them some immediate response or immediate care to ensure that they are okay. Is it?
Yes, yes, yes. The first aid
Okay,
must be
all
done
right.
in at the scene if there is any injury.
Okay, so basically this is the main role first. So I'm trying to give you guys a big picture the hospital. Actually, what is the main role? But later on, we were going into step by step. I will bring you to see the whole process from example. Once someone is called MERS 999, so what will happen? We will proceed in the next part. All right. So basically, I do a summarize again. So for the police, they will try to be the first agency to be at the scenes, and then they evaluate the scenes, and then they will call in the other respective representative agency, for example, fire rescue, medical as well. Okay, the second from the fire and rescue department, Bomba, basically they are trying to save the survivors, save the victims, the people trying to attempt suicide. Basically, is to try to save him. And then for hospital, basically is for to ensure the safety after being rescued. Okay, so now let's go into in depth the flow. So now I want you guys to imagine we are having a public calling MERS 999, informed that there is an emergency call. Someone seeing someone is trying to attempt suicide, no matter on what different ways. Okay, so when the MERS 99 operator receive this call, they will evaluate the situation and they will pass to police. All right, so the police will handle. So maybe you can have Madam Pano Ashikin from police to explain to us in details what is the step and the flow when the police referring the emergency call from MERS 999.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sim. Okay. So now we at the scene, the scenes of that situations as well. So we refer against the contents of the information as well. Of course, from the informations, the police must get the particular of the caller, who's give the information from the MERS 999. Okay, and then what's the handphone number actually? So easy for us to counter check. What else? Also the particular, and then the identity of the victim from the caller. Then where the place was occurred, for example, if the scene was happened at a big town, the further action is to do some roadblock we have to do, okay, to securing the scene. Okay?
Secure the scene.
Yes, yes, yes. And then the next, after receiving the call, the OCS, this means the charge of the police station nearby to the scene, and also the investigation officer also we invite also We go to the scene immediately, and the OCPD, the one in charge of the district officer, will go depending on the seriousness of the incident. Okay, and then for the time, for the limit time, I mean the police go to the scene. Okay, the limit time from the police side, yes, within 15 minutes, around 15 minutes, but less than 15 minutes is more better, but it is depending on locations or the geography factor of the scene.
Okay, so from here, I see that actually you see the police will have a time limit, time constraint that they have to be on that scene immediately. So they will be around 15 minutes after they receiving the call, understand the situations, and then they will dispatch out the police officer to the scene as immediate as possible, trying to be in within the 15 minutes. All right. Okay, so I have few wonder about what will happen if the police is already arrived at the scenes within 15 minutes. So what is the first thing that the police will do first? Can Puan try to give us more information about this? Thank you, Puan.
Okay, if you mean we at a scene now. Okay, what we do is any information is relayed by the public at the scenes. Okay, we will be entertained fairly, but we should bear in mind that all the information received is true, all the facts. And also, the scene of crime will be cordoned. Okay, cordoned with police line where unauthorized person is not allowed to enter unless permitted by the police. So the team concerned will secure the evidence and investigate.
Okay, so Puan just now you say that cordon the scenes. So means that the police will try to evacuate the public that gather below the buildings or anyways in the nearby scenes lah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering regarding to this because we can see a lot of the news right now. Actually, when happen this kind, to have a look, is there any ways that public can help to ease these situations to easy the job of the rescue? Like, actually, what should the public to gather around and there, or should they be actually just focusing and give space to police or fire rescue department to do their job? So they just pass by, don't stop there and then gather around.
We not to allow the public to disturb while the police doing the investigate at the scene. That's why we cordon all the place, and then only maybe the informer just now. Maybe we only the informer we can get all the details from them. But normally the police is not allowed at the scene. Yeah.
Okay, so from there we can see that actually the public is encouraged lah. If some incidents happen at your place, so if you are nearby or in the scenes, so you have to try to be aware and then give space to the relevant agencies like police, bomba to do their job. So try not to be gathered at that scenes because it might disturb or affect the fire rescue department, police, and trying to save the victims. All right. So, and one more thing from madams, like how do police do the evaluation of the scenes when reached? Because the someone just mentioned like you will conceal first the situations, the scenes. So make sure that no public is nearby or no public, others people will be affect the scenes. But then after that, what happened? After the police like do the crowd controlling, what will happen next?
Okay. The first thing, the police will identify the locations where the victim is. Okay, and then we collecting information from in case in the scene that we have family of the victim. Okay, family of the victim, members or friends. Okay, it's very important in collecting the evidence or scenario of the case is making psychological planning to persuade the victim. Okay. Police will identify close relatives or friends to the victim in that situations. The police will making planning to persuade the victim with other rescue department after that.
So just now was mentioned that you will gather information and then you will pass this information to the others department like fire and rescue department, is it?
Yes, that only for the how to save the victim.
Okay,
Yes.
right. So maybe I think that we can cue in Bomba officer, Don Henry and Don Greg, regarding to this. Like after the police secure the scenes, okay, and then they conceals the situations, and then they gather some information about the victims, and then they pass that information to you guys. So what will you guys do when you reach that scene?
Thank you, Mr. Sim. At the first, the bomber will do the risk assessment. This means the bomber will size up. In our term, we call it size up. This means we evaluate, we assess the situations. How is he or she doing the suicide attempt? Most probably, he or she bring also a sharp object like knife or some sharp knife. We have to see what the risk is as it be there. We don't want the rescuer woman also involved in this suicide attempt and be a victim to these situations. So we will assess it, and we have also the SOP as our guide to see how we can control, and the ultimate objective is to save life, not just the victim, but we have to ensure that our team also at the end of the operations is in secure in good conditions. Maybe Tuan Greg can assist me on the SOP, the techniques, and how the very details of the operations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sim, for inviting me to this online dialogue on suicide attempt issue. And as what Ton Henry has mentioned initially, okay, we respond to any case or distress call for this suicide attempt cases as a genuine case, and we have to deploy the right logistic and the right team for this particular rescue operation. Upon arriving on the scene, the on-scene commander will do the evaluation or the operation of situation, and with that, we formulate our rescue plan. And after we formulate our rescue plan, then we're going to give the task to our personnel accordingly, because in this or for this suicide attempt rescue operation, there are 5 commandants involved. The first commandant is the commander itself. The commander himself has to command and control the entire operation. Secondly is the deputy commander. He's going to assist the commander to get all the necessary information and to work to formulate the plan with the commander and the relevant agency like the police and also the ambulance. And the third element is we have our repeller team ready on scene with their equipment and all. They have some safety gears, and follow up. We also have our what we call this pulling party. We have this our throwing party that must be set up before the operation going on, because and on top of this, the safety of our personnel, we put it our great consideration, because we don't want, as what Ton Henry say, if the victim or the subject arms with dangerous weapon, so we would allow the operation rescue operation to be carried out unless the subject was free from that particular dangerous weapon, because it will cause harm to our personnel, which is not a good idea to have that operation in that scenario.
Okay, so in other word, from just now, both of the Tuan Henry and Tuan Greg sharing, so I catch that actually from the Bomba Fire Rescue Department, when they reach the scenes, they will as well as gather information from police and then with the victims or the public, and then they will do the risk management on risk evaluations. So they will evaluate whether what is the situation of the victims, or is there the victim is holding something sharp, or that will harm the fire rescue officer as well. Yeah, so this is the consideration that the bomba will have before we're trying to proceed with the process, trying to save the victims or trying to save the people. So they will evaluate the scene first, and then they also mentioned the one Greg also mentioned about the setting up the safety measurement, is it? And then also the tools. And then I also heard that a lot of specific terms, like for example the jumping team, the throwing team, the pulling team, something like that. I believe that is a very interesting things that we will talk about it in deep later on. All right. So my next question is for Tuan Henry and Tuan Greg. After doing the risk management or risk evaluations of the scenes, what is the fire and rescue department next step? So you will proceed with the rescue the step, or other is there any things that you will do after you do the risk evaluations of that scenes?
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. After the evaluation is done and the plan has been formulated, uh, task was given to all the personnel and rescuer involved, and all the rappelling team must be on station, on position on the upper floor. If they don't have enough space on the throwing party, they have to go a bit higher to second floor from the victim. So the throwing the party will be one floor up from the victim or from the subject. So at the same time, we also have the setup for this a net rescue. If we have the net rescue, and we have this so-called the pooling team, which comprises normally 4 to 5 person. Uh, Down the floor, we have this so-called the life pack people who is going to set up the life pack to provide cushion for the subject in case he falling down. Not only for the victim or the subject, but also for the rescuer if the rope is failed. But please bear in mind that all personnel or rescuer involved in this particular rescue task, they must be experienced guys with knowledge of rope rescue technique, and also they must not hide phobia guys, and also they are good in high angle rescue, and basically they have this what we call this counseling or psychological background, so they can provide a little bit psychological background. If they can, especially the commander, the ground commander itself, they must have this type of knowledge. And all this action was taken without the knowledge, without the traction to the victim, because we don't want the subject or the victim to detect that we are in a move, in action to rescue him. That's why you see, even if we approach the incident scene, we cannot on our beacon. We cannot on our beacon, light and siren on, because we don't want the victim to know that we are coming. So everything was done without the victim tension. So that is the what of the procedures that how we approach this type of cases.
Okay, thank you very much for Tuan Greg. Very informational message. I'm trying to digest it. Okay, so just now I heard that after the Bomba do the risk evaluation of their scenes, they will set up the equipments, and then there were few officers. Just now I heard that few teams, like for example, they will set up the blanket or carpet or something like the blanket at the floor, something like that, and then they consist of few officers. So we can see that a lot of bomba officer will be involved in just one suicide attempt cases. Is it like that? A lot of officer from fire rescue department will be involved in this thing.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, we will involve more than 10 personnel, at least I think 12 to 15 personnel, because the handful of tasks that need to be done during this rescue operation. And not forgetting our in charge guy for every component, because they are going to coordinate with the commander, ground commander, to conduct the rescue operation for this type of case. Because as you know, this type of rescue mission is a very risky operation, but then it depends on the nature of the building and how violent the subject is. If the subject is violent, so we need to very violent. We need to carefully handle it without risking our rescuer involved.
Alright. So I can imagine now there is a preparation. Until what we discuss about this is about the preparation, and they are going to save. So my next question is, what will happen after the bomba if already secure the victim, already save the victims? Okay, the bomba already success in saving the victim or prevent the victim from commit the attempt. So what is the next step, or what is the next process that going to do by the bomba?
Well, after the victim had been pulled to a safe area or safe place, normally we will hand over the victim to the police accordingly. Uh, but if the victim is injured, so we have to get the ambulance guys to give a basic treatment with the police to be with them, because we don't want the victim to be to escape or something like that. But procedure-wise, yes, we will hand over the victim to the police. Okay. Thank you.
So back to Puan again. So I wonder what is the next process for Puan or your police side after the bomba secure the victim and pass the victim to police. So what is the next step from police?
Okay. Okay. From the police side, and then after the bomba saves the victim, right? Then we, for sure, we take the victim to the hospital. Okay. Any whether the victim have any injuries or what, then let the hospital to do the medical checkup. So we bring the victim directly to the hospital after that.
All right. Okay. Okay, so the police will bring the victims or bring the survivor to the hospital for further checkup. So maybe from this part on, can I ask Dr. Ng, what will happen, or will the doctors will be informed or notified to stand by earlier regarding to these cases, or what? In other words, is what will happen when the police bring the victims or survivors to the hospital? So how the hospital side or the doctor will take over this?
Okay. First of all, I was really impressed by the explanation from the bomba and our police officer side, because those are the details that we have been missed, and then we thought it was easy for the officers to do their job, and in fact it was really complicated and a lot of process involved. From our side, we will just receive the client, the patient, to the hospital. Of course, the first stage is to triaging, identification. Who is this person? And the name, the IC number, and is there any relative is around. If we get the client directly from the police, we will ask the police or the bomba what is actually happening. The brief, very brief history from them before we bring the patient in. If the patient or is the client sustain severe injury, then the emergency care will be given to them first. Depends on the cases that we receive. Actually, there's a lot of suicidal attempt and in different form. So we can't just assume that this is something like a jumping from tall building attempted hanging. there are a lot of different forms of suicidal attempts. So from there, we identify the patient, get some history, stabilize the patient, and from there, we will identify which team of which discipline will be referred to. For example, after they have stabilized the patient, after they have done all the screening, scanning, brain scan, take blood, everything in the history, and they will decide which discipline will be referred to, such as if there is any open injury, they refer to surgical department. If there is some fracture, they refer to orthopedic department, which is a bond. Eventually, all suicidal or attempts will be referred to psychiatric department, which is the mental health, this is my field, the mental health department for further evaluation. So it still depends on number of what type of cases that
I see. Just now I heard the key point is that normally the victim or survivor will be analyze the situations or based on the injury, and then they have sent to the treatment. After that, they will go back to the mental health or psychiatric department. So, or at the end, they will back to the psychiatric department for follow up, is it?
Yes, if the physical injury, we are focusing on the life-threatening injury first. Life-threatening injury like fractures, wounds, poisonings, which affect their bodily physical function, then they will be the primary team. And psychiatry will be the secondary team or the supporting team, because suicide is associated with mental health as well. So eventually, all clients who attempted suicide, or people who attempted suicide, they will be referred to psychiatric service for evaluation.
I see. Right. So, and then Dr. Ng, I would like to ask that will the hospital or the doctor be notified earlier regarding to these cases, or they will just the police walk in the patients, or they will be already informed earlier so that you guys can prepare at the door or maybe at the emergency department, something like that.
Yeah, there will be communication between the police officer and the first responder, the ambulance. The ambulance will inform the hospital emergency department what type of cases that they are expecting to be received from the hospital or at the emergency department. Definitely there will be preparations there.
I see. All right. So, could I ask that how long the survivor will be hospitalized? Like, for example, if based on the different or severity of the injury, so they will be hospitalized at that department, is it? And then when they were going to the psychiatric department, and how long they will be in the psychiatric department?
Okay, again, it depends on what kind of injury or is there any physical injury involved. If there are any physical injury involved, that need to be treated by the team itself first. And at the same time, it's not like a pass over of client. We manage the client collaboratively, which means if there are few injury, a few discipline will be managed the patient collaboratively. And psychiatric assessment, psychiatric management will be at the same time as well. Okay, if the injury is severe or serious injury, patient may need to be admitted for weeks to months. After that, at the same time, psychiatric service or mental health services will go in. Then the patient will be assessed for whether this patient needs psychiatric admission or not. If the issue can be managed, if the mental health issue can be managed during the hospitalization, we don't need to take the patient in the psychiatric service. We call managing the patient from the first day the patient or the client admitted to the hospital. And the duration of the admission is totally or largely depends on how bad or how serious are the injuries.
Okay. And then, okay. So after they finish the treatment, will they be informed? Will you guys inform the police as well about this thing, or keep updating on the police about the victims' situations?
The police usually did a very good job by following up cases that like this. Usually the police will ask for a report from the hospital, the extent of injuries to follow up the cases. After that, we provide report if the police officer requests for it. but mainly we are focusing on the patient's care or the client's care. Yeah. If police need our help in preparing the report, we will collaborate, we will cooperate with the police, and then prepare report that the police needed.
Okay, I see. And one more thing that come into my mind, doctor, is about is there any filings or any documents will be open or be filed regarding to these cases? And then if this, yes, how about the confidentiality?
I think in every department, in every, even bomba, even police, they'll keep with documentation for these medical legal cases or things that related to our job. We did keep patients record in a safe file because we need to write down what we get from the client, what we get from the police, what we get from the bomba, and we take a thorough history. What are the things that happened before, during, and after the incidents? But remember, we have a medical record office. The top priority for patients' care is privacy and confidentiality. So audit record will be kept safe. Now, no one can actually access to the file, not even one public, except for doctors for medical use only. And if certain people want the report about this case, they need to go to medical report office. It's not simply that they can call in and they ask who is this person and can I know the history about it, or any reporter or media they can ask simply no. They need to go through a very strict channel from the hospital level. Yeah, the privacy and confidentiality is assured
see.
from them. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, thank you so much for Dr. Ng's explanations. So we can see that actually how is the flow. But this is at the first step, we say that this is the cases about the suicide attempt survivor has been rescued successfully. But sometimes, or sometimes we might not have this able to save the suicide attempt victims. So what will happen if unable to save the victims, or we fail to save or rescue the suicidal victims? So from police and bomba, I just wonder at that scenes if that is related to like unsuccessful rescue, or we fail to rescue. So what is your next step? Because that's not what we discussed is and explained about is when we successful rescue and we successful to secure the victims. But how about if we fail to do it? So what will happen from the police?
Okay, it's on the police side. So if it's not successful of the civil case, of course we put up the one of the sudden death report that the file we have to put up, and from that part we'll collect all the evidence that we can help us for investigations, especially we get the evidence from the bomba side and then from the hospital, okay, and then also collects the evidence at the scene also in case we can find the things can help us to more further actions. Then the most important thing is the evidence is from the two department, the bomba and the doctor also to help us.
All right, thank you from Madam Sherry. So normally if they fail or something like we not able to save the victims, so happens that. So normally the police will open a sudden death report lah, and do the investigations. And how about from Bomba side? If like we failed, exactly to say we failed to rescue the victims, so what will happen from the Bomba side?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sim. If the cases that we attend from Burma attend is failed, normally Burma will know about 2 or 3 days after the main get call from the public, said there's somebody have found in some places, or we have received a call that somebody have jumped from the bridge to go, I mean, drown to sea or to the river, and then the normally procedure is we have to search for the body, and if we manage to find the body, officially we will hand over it to the police and let the police and hospital determine what to do the next process. The bomba procedures is we try our best to get the bodies, secure it, and then we hand over it to the related agencies. That's from my opinion and my view.
All right. So from bomba, so they have to find the bodies lah, and they have to prepare up, and then setting, cleaning up the things, and then they pass to the next agency. All right. Okay. So yeah, basically this is some questions from me to the public. So I welcome that if you are listening to this, if you have any questions, please comment at the comment sections. So we will answering it. All right. So I think that before we move to the second part, I think that we can have a quick summary first about this, what is happening from just now what we discussed. So from the police, the role and the process of getting to the scene is that they have to controlling the situations, they have to conceal the situations, and then they give the fire and rescue department to get in to do their task. So from the bomba, they will try to save the victim, to rescue the victim. So just now they mentioned already, they were what they were doing, the risk evaluations, they setting up the tools, and then thinking out the best way or the best method to rescue the victim with a minimal injury. After they rescue, they pass to the police again, and then police will bring to the hospital. So from the hospital, the doctor will do some checkup injuries and then giving the suitable treatment, and then as well as refer to the psychiatric departments for the follow-up service. All right. So basically, this is the big picture and the big flow about the situations. So, like, okay, I received few questions from the public. Maybe before we move to the second part, we can have a short Q&A first. Sounds good? All right. So we have questions from Simon. Simon mentioned that do we have anyone who can do the negotiation on the spot for those intent to commit suicide? I believe that these questions, this I think I can add on, and then maybe Tuan can checking is I'm answering correct. So from these questions, they're asking that is there any negotiator to be provided? But I believe that actually the negotiator that's the most suitable is the officer, no matter from police, no matter from bomba. The best negotiator is the officer at the present at the immediate scenes. So they will be the first person trying to understand. Yeah. Okay. So I think that Tuan Greg can have something to add on.
I think I want to respond to this question. See, one of the very important tasks in dealing with these so-called suicide attempt cases is that we must apply this so-called coaxing action. That means that we have to coax the victim to avoid the suicide attempt. But normally this was done by police officers and also bomba personnel on site. And also it says join the relative and friends of the victim, just to encourage them, him or her, to end the suicide attempt through conversation, counseling, and patiently coaxing the victim. Many suicide attempts have ended peacefully when the victims surrender themselves to a safety with no rescue action required. We did experience this type of thing. When I was working in KL, and there's a few cases that we managed to negotiate with the subject, and at the end, the subject agreed to our negotiation, and he approached the suicide attempt. So, and I think was very successful to us because nobody was injured, and we don't have to do our search and rescue action.
Mr. Sim, I would like to add some from my point of view regarding Mr. Simon questions. Yes, the bomba, the police personnel can do the negotiation, or maybe it's from the hospital officers itself. But I think we can also rely on the public, the nearest person, the nearest what you call uh, elective friends, or maybe it's just passengers, or just a just an individual, but he or she sees the suicide attempt. What this public can do is to buy time to delay the suicide attempt, and so the police, the bomber have enough time, have sufficient time to get to the locations and manage to handle the situations. I think that's the responsibility of our public also to help these cases like suicide attempt. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Don Greg and Don Henry said. The public also can involve in these cases by trying to understand, trying to buy some time for them. That's very important, right? So I hope that public can get awareness and see that actually you can also working together in these cases to prevent a suicide, right?
Mr. Sim, if I may add something, okay, as this negotiation continue, the victim may experience fatigues and we can offer him something like drinks and food or cigarette maybe if he is smokers, and this is a common technique by the officer at the scene to gain this mutual trust and ultimately distract the victim from commit suicide. And then this is a very good timing for the rescuer to set up all the equipment ready beforehand, because we need ample time to set up our equipment to get ready. So sometime within that particular time that we set up our thing, negotiation is going on, and sometime this particular subject will give up for commit suicide.
Thank you so much for Don Greg and on. Sabanti also got asked the second question actually. I think that this is quite tough. What if terrorist is carrying out suicide attempt? Which authority or unit will be handling such issue? Do our countries ready to handling these such cases? Yeah, quite tough case. Tough questions. So let's see what can we do about this because Simon Teo is asking about terrorists. What if terrorists is carrying out suicidal attempt? Yeah. So the grouping or the shift group is already terrorists. So I also wonder. So maybe one can give us some explanation, but it's okay because this is quite sudden. So maybe the information might not be so accurate. So if in the future, if you need more, we will give out this information after the sessions. So let's see. Start from one.
Okay, so this terrorist is involved in this situation, in this scene. Okay, for the such case of a terrorist, we have our special department on this. Simply like the district or the nearest police stations or what, they refer this thing to the special department, what we call is the special branch. Okay, so these informations we give to the special branch to handle, and then the officer is relevant from the special branch will go to the scene, and then what else, whatever maybe he can do, like what normally the practice of the bomba as well just now, the informations. But the way how they do, the way how they handling the victims or the subject, that the special cost for them. So I also can design this thing because this is handled by special branch. So I cannot, I'm also not related to the information. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for point testifications. As you mentioned, that this involves a special unit, so we have to give out next time if we got chances, we try to invite that those special units to explain this out. But very good questions. Yeah. So let's see. I got
Yeah, Mr. Sim, I would like to respond. When Mr. Simon said, "Do our country is ready for this kind of situations?" I believe our country is ready and is prepared for the worst cases scenario. I think because in my opinion, I have experienced trainings to go with the police and also with the army for some cases that involving terrorists, involving CRB and E is it involves the what you call chemical, radioactive, and also so on. It is regarding what the terrorists do for this country. So what I want to say is our country is ready and we are prepared for these situations. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Tuan Henry classification. So back to Nur Hayati. So I'm wondering those who attempt for suicide, will they be charged under the law? I believe that there are such law under the sections Akta 309, right? Yeah, there is such law, but I think that because this is quite sensitive, so there might be some limitation of the discussions. But we can hear some from one justification about this.
Yes, Mr. Kim. But we try as actually we try to help the victim. Yes, we try to help the victim. Not we just okay. This is commit suicide in the scenes. So directly we charge the victim. No. The first thing is we try to help he or she. So we take the evidence, we collect the evidence. So maybe there's something like we can see the cause of that. So that is during our investigations. Not simply we just, oh, this one, we try to make it suicide in the this thing all. Okay, directly we point under section 309. No. First thing, we try to help the victim and then we try to further collect all the information. That really can, what we do later. Yeah.
I see. Okay. All right. So one more questions. Uh, this one. What if depressed person with suicidal ideations or several depressions, will they get judged as well? I think maybe we can have one on doctor to talk about this. I think that just now the point got mentioned already. They will try to help. They will try to
Yes,
understand
yes.
the situation first. Yeah. So maybe after that, the severe depression, they will undergo the training from psychiatric department. Yeah, like just now Dr. Ng mentioned earlier. Is it like that, Doctor? Anything that you want to add on?
The question is suicidal ideation. So you won't be charged if you just have an ideation, huh? There's no attempt here. It's just the ideation, so many people having suicidal ideation. So I don't think a person have ideation will be charged. Kan Puan?
Yeah, there's a keyword suicidal ideation there. So there is not yet an attempt. Okay, so before that, I think that we stop at here first for the Q&A sessions. There's a second part that I wish to show you guys about some videos about that how Bomba rescued the scenes, and then maybe from that video, officer from Don Henry and Don Greg will explain more about the step. So we try to get into more detail how the Bomba react. All right, so allow me to share my screen.
Okay, thank you, Sim. If you look into the video back, it was the victim, the subject was standing on the window panel, glass window panel. That is a very unstable point. When the bomber arrived, I saw that the bomber conduct this so-called snatch rescue. I just opened the window pane and just grabbed the victim and pull it inwards to the building. That is the fastest way of rescuing the suicide attempt guys lah. But you are very fortunate if you have access to that particular panel. But sometimes you don't have that particular access, and it is very difficult. So you have to have the normal setup for that particular rescue operation. But in that video, they are very lucky because they can open that particular window panel and then they just can grab snatch the victim and pull it inside the building to the building and put him to safety. Thank you.
Okay, and one more thing just now is that I got see that actually there is the fire rescue trucks in there. Yeah, so other than the snack team, like Tuan Greg just mentioned, is there anything that you guys will prepare as well for the second or for the backup plan, other if you can't snap the victims out from that situations?
Well, it's all depend on how the on-scene commander evaluates the station. If the commander thinks that they could do that to save the victim, so they will go for that. But I think by that time they haven't set up the airbag or the rescue net yet. When looking into the video, nothing has been set. But maybe the personnel or the rappellers has ready on the other side. We can't be seen from outside. But of course, before starting to take action, they must have all the safety line with them beforehand. So I think the setup has been done inside the building, but not outside the building. Yep.
All right, thank you so much for Tuan explanation about that videos, that situations, what happens. Okay, from that, since we also see that actually the public will be gathered around at the below there. So I think that maybe there is some things that from public that we can start to change or we can start to do right now in order for the future we can help or ease the situations, because now we can see that the scene has been in across the road, in the middle of the road there. So a lot of traffic jams, some police is trying to cut controlling, doing some traffic blocks to ask the car to pass by. But there is still a lot of crowd gathering below there. So maybe from that parts of the public, we should have awareness that we're trying to maybe far a bit, give more space to fire rescue or police or other agencies to do their job, which will of course increase the chance of the rescue of the victims. All right. And then one more thing, I still got another video. I think that maybe we can look into it as well. Let me share the screen.